Hello, folks. You are tuned into another episode of Listen in 3D. This is episode number 75. I'm your boy Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool.
It's your boy Ruthless 267.
And together we're both Team 3D, the host of Listen in 3D, where we discuss, dissect, and debate the music and the albums in the world of hip hop and other genres. Do us a favor if you like this content, like this video, comment, share it around, and most importantly, subscribe. If you want to help us out one step further, when you do subscribe, click on that notification bell. That way, you know when all our videos and shorts go live. We've been putting a lot of content into the channel lately on both your YouTube and Instagram. But if you do want to listen to the show, we are on all podcasting platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just to name a few of them. We're there. Um, so our previous episode, we did a Def Jam artist. So in this episode, we're discussing another Def Jam artist. Anything you'd like to say before you introduce him, Gabriel?
Underrated producer, rapper.
Underrated, yeah, very
Like
underrated.
he's just one of those situations where you know, he uh, it was probably like better that it didn't go for him the way he initially planned because something even more amazing happened for him afterwards and he had a great run and he still remains active in the scene just in the background producing. So we are talking none other than the G Child, Warren Griffin third, aka Warren G Child. G Dub.
G
Also
Dub,
G Dub too.
G Dub, yeah, yeah. All right, yeah. So yeah, we were talking Warren G, Regulate, G Funk era. I'll do the album facts for this one. Released
Go for it.
June 7th, 1994. Violator distributed by Rush Associate Labels, or RAL, which is a division of Def Jam Recordings. Certified 3 times platinum, peaked at number one on the top R&B hip hop album charts, and number two on the Billboard 200, which is across all genres. Singles include "Regulate This DJ" and "Do You See." Music videos were the same as the singles, and then there was another music video for "So Many Ways," which was an alternate version or Bad Boys version, which appeared on the Bad Boys soundtrack. So there was a video for that also. Not really a single for that album since it was a different version. Guest appearances include Nate Dogg, B Tip, Ricky Harris, the Twins, Josh Gills, the Dove Shack, and Little Malik. So a little bit on Warren G. I think a lot of people get him confused that he is Snoop's cousin. He is not Snoop's cousin. Daz Dillinger is Snoop's cousin.
Yep.
He and Snoop Dogg were childhood best friends, actually. So they grew up together in Long Beach, California. Just another thing about Warren G too. He's the stepbrother of Dr. Dre. I guess I guess Warren's dad and Dr. Dre's mom got married, and then they became stepbrothers. Through that. Um, so I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe it was destined for him to get into the music industry. I mean, he definitely did look up to Dr. Dre, a lot growing up. So aside from that, just um, he got his beginnings, like I guess, in the music industry. Producing for Snoop and Nate Dogg. They're the 213, which was the old area code of Long Beach. It used to be like a majority of Southern California, and now it's broken into many different area codes. But that's where 213 comes from. It was the original area code that they had. Um, he had a lot to do with the Chronic, and I don't think he really ever gets the credit he deserves for it. But he got a lot of samples for it. He put in the work, and then when it was time for Death Row to go on their tour, they did not have a ticket for him. So,
Or a jacket.
or a jacket for that matter. So, and then that's when Dr. Dre put him aside saying, "Hey, you got to be your own man." So, and that's what he did. He produced for Tupac. I forget the name of the song. It was on the Poetic Justice soundtrack, I believe. And then after that, he was able to produce a song from Mr. Jim, Mr. Grimm called Indo Smoke with him and Nate Dogg. He produced that song, and then that's how he got noticed. He got a deal with Def Jam, and then the rest was history. And even though he didn't, make G Funk, a lot of people probably think he does because his name Warren G. Regulate G Funk era, but no, he definitely helped revolutionize it. He's one of the he has a G Funk documentary that's on YouTube. Definitely check it out. I believe I talked about it in the Nate Dogg episode, but I'll link it in the description if you guys are interested in watching that. It came on YouTube Red. I think it's free now if you just Google it. But once again, I'll put it in the description. And he talks about G Funk and West Coast culture, a little bit of his upbringing, and he credits Big Hutch from Above the Law, for making G Funk. So it was him. So just a little bit of West Coast hip hop history for you guys. And just over the years, I've gotten his records. This actually wasn't the first one I got. Um, the first one I got of his was the censored version of "Take a Look Over Your Shoulder," and I remember it was censored clearly because I got it from Walmart, and Walmart was notorious for selling those censored versions of records.
I got a
So
little story, funny one about that one too. So
yeah, yeah, and then but I've gotten his other CDs over the years. I mean, obviously this one, what was the other one? I Want It All and Return of the Regulator, and then I've a lot of his other stuff after that I have on MP3. In terms of vinyls, I got this one here, the Regulate. It's the Fruit Punch one, kind of like the previous episode with Slick Rick, and then I also got this DJ. He actually signed this one, so
that's tight.
Warren G, if you're watching, thank you for signing it for me. I appreciate it.
Warren G, if you want to sign mine, man, I greatly appreciate it, man. This is the 20th anniversary pressing. I still haven't opened it yet. I'm gonna do like a vinyl unwrapping of it, but that's
Oh
the
yeah,
hype sticker
oh
for
yeah.
it.
One thing, people. I'm gonna promote you for a minute here, Ruthless. Check out his channel, folks. I put it in the description since he's been on the show every episode. He has a lot of unique unboxings, especially if you love West Coast hip hop and a few other genres. I mean, his unboxings are amazing. So definitely check him out if you do get a chance.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, man. One more thing too. It's funny how you mentioned the cousin. A lot of people don't know RBX. That's Snoop's cousin as well.
Oh yeah, RBX. Shout out to
And
RBX.
with the home Lil Half Dead. Like
Little half
he's
dab.
a legit guy too. He's Snoop's cousin as well. Amazing the music talent in that family.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of music talent.
And another thing too, man, when you were talking about like the label imprint of RAL,
Yeah.
it almost feels like when you look at the original pressings and some of the original artwork of these albums by him,
Hmm.
Def Jam didn't put their logo on them.
Yeah,
Like,
they didn't. I was a little surprised. Even if you look at the vinyl I had, it like where's the Def Jam logo?
yeah, oh,
So
the new ones,
the
like,
new one, yeah, didn't.
oh, they own it like it's no tomorrow. They're
Yeah.
proud of it after all the money. And we talked about this in a previous podcast,
Yeah.
how he damn near saved the label when the West Coast was just dominating, like especially Death Row. But
Mm,
I just found that it's funny that they put the RAL, the
yeah.
RAL logo a lot, and then like he was a Violator artist
Mm,
from their management, so those were huge. But Def Jam kind of like
yeah.
we we're gonna we're gonna put you out, but we're not gonna put our label on it. And I was like kind of like a slap in the face. Like I think like you don't believe in me and you don't want to associate your label with me in case I flop. But
He didn't.
no, he didn't. And that's when you go take a look over your shoulder, you got
Mm,
Def Jam all over that,
yeah.
and he's invited to be part of every Def Jam release at that point, from like the show to the Nutty Professor. Like
Yeah.
he's like all into the thick, man. So I don't know.
Mm,
I just thought that was an interesting um thing. So yeah, all those they got are like OG presence of, or you can go look it up. You can see Def Jams are not really probably a small imprint, bro.
yeah.
And they try to. This is a subsidiary of. Def
Yeah,
Jam.
division of Def Jam Recordings. Like,
Yeah, we
oh.
got other artists coming out in here. Until you blow up, then we're gonna say you're Def Jam. So that's kind of whack. And then the
Yeah,
song you were talking about that he did for Tupac on the Poetic Justice is my definition of a thug ninja.
yeah, yeah. That,
Yeah,
yeah. Good song, by the
yeah,
way.
yeah.
So yeah, he also, speaking of other productions, he also did a song for MC Breed, I want to say, as well.
You gotta get
Yeah,
yours.
yeah,
They
yeah,
gotta get
yeah.
mine.
Yeah,
You
that
gotta
one.
get
Yeah,
yours, and you gotta get mine. Yeah,
yeah. He
that's what
was doing some.
Tupac's on that one. Tupac
Yeah,
brought him in on
yeah.
that one.
Tupac. So he had a relationship with Tupac early on before Snoop, I believe. Yeah, it had to be before Snoop because he was out there producing. So I mean, that's pretty much what he had to do after Death Row rejected him. So I mean,
Yeah,
so
Pac was a good. That was a he was a good leeway for him, like to
yeah,
get him into the right ears. Apple Music has like these playlists called Behind the Keyboards,
yeah.
and Warren G's got one. You'll see every song that he's pretty much produced that was like a major hit. Like he did the "How Long Will They Mourn Me" on
Oh
Thug
yeah.
Life's album,
Okay.
and then he's the one that brought Nate to come in and do that hook, like
Yeah.
Warren G did. So that was that was
Yeah,
like a
I know Warren G
great time
has
for him.
I know, Warren G has quite a bit of productions before this album dropped, but I know the one that got him noticed was Mr. Grimm's Indo Smoke.
Indo Smoke.
That was the one that got him noticed, and like I
That's a
said,
banger, bro.
he blew up from there. I actually do have the 12-inch somewhere. I'll share it with you later, but yeah, that's a good song.
Even if you don't smoke weed, that's still a great song.
Great song,
I don't.
great beat. That music
Yeah,
video is fantastic. Just it was a great music video. So
and Nate Dogg, man, that was like a different side of Nate Dogg that I remember hearing. That was pretty dope.
yeah, Nate
Rest in
Dogg.
peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. Nate Dogg. Yeah, he definitely killed it. All right, yeah. So, in terms of memories of Warren G, I guess for me, just like I said, the first album I got from him was "Take a Look Over Your Shoulder," and that was on tape, and it was a censored version. But definitely, I was hoping that one of the songs we're going to talk about later was on it, but it wasn't. But I listened to it. It was pretty good for the most part. And then
What joint was that?
that I thought was on there, this
Uh
DJ,
huh.
this
This
DJ.
DJ's this is it's on that album.
No, 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 not take a look over your shoulder.
Oh, take a look over your shoulder.
Yeah,
Oh,
I thought
you thought at
yeah,
that time.
I thought, yeah, I
Ooh,
thought,
yeah, you were
but
wrong.
no. But it had some other bangers on there that I can't be disappointed with. Actually, we'll have a little debate between this one and the second album, a little later on in the show. But
I take it you haven't done take over your shoulder. Take a look over your shoulder, right?
that we have not reviewed that album, no.
Oh, we probably won't do it for a while, but
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna just throw it
probably,
out there now.
uh huh,
I'll buy used vinyl. We've talked about this, like
yeah,
on Discogs, and
mm,
I didn't go to Discogs on this one. I went to like either OfferUp or Macari,
mm,
and I found a copy of it and had the original inserts and everything like that. Said it was still in the shrink and all that. I was like, all right, cool. And it was like $32 or something. I was like, I'll take it because it hasn't been pressed since '97.
yeah. There
Which
are a lot of, it's still in the string copies out there because I was actually looking for that one
so
a while
as
back. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I think I will probably get it sometime before the end of the year.
you,
But
you should
yeah,
because when my son recently he was helping me like do on like a reel for
hmm,
Instagram, like a mystery unboxing that I do
yeah,
because I have so many that I just haven't opened up yet, and
mm,
I forgot when I got them. So
yeah,
here I am. I was like, oh yeah, finally I opened it up, and then I'm doing the routine. I'm gonna go play it,
yeah,
and it's like, wait a minute, I remember hearing some kind of profanity around this area,
uh-huh.
and then I was like, played more and more and more. I was like, dog, I
You
think I
got
got
the
the edited.
censored version.
I got the edited version, and I was
Yeah,
like,
I know. Yeah, it had to be that first song too, because
anime.
yeah, anime. Because let me guess, the Nate Dogg song. You're dealing with the boys from 2-1, and then
Yes,
in the regular version he says 2-1 motherfucker. So yeah, that's how I know
yes.
I had to. What's
And
that?
he says that part aggressively too. You're
Yeah,
dealing with the 2-1 mother. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
And
So
so
You're
I
dealing
was
with
like,
the boys
okay,
from 213.
you're dealing with boys with 213, and he's like a little bit more mellow, like
Yeah.
he's not as aggressive.
Yeah,
And like,
anime is actually one of my favorite Warren G cuts, but yeah.
I was like, this is the censored version, dog. And I was like, and then I started looking more like one of the inserts is missing, and I was like, all right, so I can't go complain about it because that's one of the bad
Yeah.
things about keeping it.
Yeah,
So
Discogs, yeah, just make sure people that you
and this wasn't on Discogs. This was
okay,
like this Macari
Macari,
or
eBay,
OfferUp.
oh, RFR, okay, okay.
Yeah. Well, now I go to Discogs, and then you're right. I find a sealed copy. It was the cheapest I saw. It was 40. Like this guy was letting it go for like $42.
Mhm.
Jumped on it, and I just got it in the mail because, and I
Okay.
opened it up just because to be safe,
And
and
it's
it
the raw version.
shrink,
Yeah,
shrink,
yeah.
the parental discretion advised, and it still has the hype sticker. And
Okay, nice, nice.
he wrote all that intact, and I was like, that's what's up.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I still gotta get my copy. Like I said, but before the end of the year, we'll definitely copy it. Yeah, yeah, just
it's got some bangers on
yeah,
there,
yeah,
bro. But
definitely.
we're not here to talk about "Take a
Yeah,
Look Over Your
yeah,
Shoulder."
yeah. We're getting off topic here. Well, we'll get into that a little bit later. Like toward the end of the episode, I'll just ask you a question. But
Go for
uh,
it. Yeah.
well, yeah, yeah, toward the end of the episode. But let's get back to this one. So as for this, so yeah, so eventually, I got this album, and I just fell in love with it. It was just great. Just from first the 12th track. Just that definitely. Great album. I was very impressed with it, and just I was just very impressed with what Warren G could do, and just he's just a rapper that just cannot be slept on. So anyway, what are your any early memories of Warren G in terms of this album or just him in general?
Man, it goes back to that Above the Rim soundtrack.
Yeah.
That was my first introduction
Hmm.
of really knowing who he was, because although Indo Smoke was out prior,
Yeah.
I had heard the song, but I just I couldn't pinpoint that it was Warren G at that time. Um, you're really taken more by Mr. Grimm and Nate Dogg.
Yeah.
And Nate Dogg was already kind of like a household name at that time due to
Yeah.
being on the Chronic and Doggy Style.
Hmm.
But it was Regulate on the Above the Rim soundtrack, or I was like, oh man, okay, this guy is like smooth, like he's got like a style to him.
Yeah.
And as far as like,
Laid back style. Laid.
yeah, super laid back style, calm,
Yeah.
collective.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't like aggressive in his music, and I think that's what a lot of people liked about him. Just he wasn't like so aggressive. Like he wasn't like about like, hey, I'm gonna hurt you or anything like that. It was more just like let's just lay back, funk, deep bass line melodies. Just what
I
what.
mean, he could get like that,
I mean,
but
he could if he had to get you, he would get you, but for the most part, very very respectful dude, and you know,
he had like that he had like a mellow voice
mm,
that was like, it just rode the beat very well.
yeah,
Dude, Warren had been in the game for a minute, dude. Like he had been soaking up. I don't know
yeah.
if people know this, and I think I've already talked to you about this too. Warren G is on the Ninjas for Life album.
Okay. Oh yeah. I think I don't think
He
it's over.
does the skit 1-900 to Compton.
Yeah,
He's
he
the
did a lot of skits back then, but okay, so he was on the 1-900 to Compton skit. Okay.
Yeah, he's the cat that's like, police, get your hands off me. I'm gonna call my girl. She gonna come get me out this, and then the girl hangs up on him and he's pissed, dude. Like
It doesn't sound like Warren G, but
That's
that's
Warren
Warren G.
G.
Okay.
That's a
I
young
never.
Warren G, bro. Like a young Warren G.
Yeah, his voice
Pass
definitely
me my
changed later.
cigarette, boo. Huh? Say it again.
His voice definitely changed later on.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was. I'm sure they acted like, I want you to sound like a really angry
Yeah.
guy, and he did it. I almost thought it was like the dude that played the Blood in The Wood. Remember the movie The
Yeah,
Wood?
yeah, I thought it was yeah, I mean, it could have
What's that
sound
fool's name?
I
The
forget
the
his
brother.
I forget his name. It's been a very long time since I last seen the
Well,
movie,
yeah, he
but
was a
yeah.
Blood in the film, and then he
Yeah.
beats up the kid.
Yeah, yeah, I remember what you're talking about, but yeah.
I thought that was him for a very long time, but I learned that it was Warren G.
Mm,
and and he already had a lot of hand in helping working alongside with Above the Law,
yeah, he was.
like you mentioned,
Mm,
which brought him into the fold of the Chronic, bringing
yeah,
Snoop Dogg to Dr. Dre,
yeah,
working on all those 213 production. I mean, this guy had been in the game for a minute, dude. So by the time we started listening to him, dude, he had mastered so much. Like he
yeah.
wasn't a guy that just learned while like on the Chronic.
No, no,
You know what I
not
mean?
not at all.
Yeah, and he had contributions to Doggy Style.
Mm,
Damn, dude. Now when you think about it, man, what a family tree, right? Him, Dad's incredible producer. Like, how do you get a bunch of Crips,
yeah.
like, all magically, musically, like talented, like, and there's no like blood in there that kind of throws it off at the time. They're all
No,
Crips.
not at
From
all.
the twins are Crips, the
Yeah,
Dushaks are Crips,
yeah.
Warren G Crips. Like nobody comes. The only thing that kind of came in and made him maybe awkward would have been like DJ Quick. It was a
Yeah, maybe
blood, but
Quick, but that was a whole different crew though. DJ Quick and Second to None and all those guys. But yeah, just
but I mean, at the end of the day, it's green, you know.
yeah.
But it always baffles me how much talent comes out of like that set of Long Beach,
Mm,
like all how they grew up together.
yeah.
But anyways, moving forward, yes, Warren G was incredible, bro. Like he when that single dropped, me and my friends, we lived in a cul-de-sac on the block. Like, dog, we were just looking forward to that album.
Yeah,
Like
that's good.
looking forward to that. And I remember I was at home, my homie down the corner. He came over with his little sister. He's carrying her.
Mhm.
Open the door. He's holding the baby right here. He's got the CD right there. I was like, "You got it?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like,
You're like, let's
"Get
go.
in here, bro!" Like,
Put it on the CD player or the tape
that's
player.
right. Yeah, my dad had a great setup, bro. He had a
Oh,
vinyl, two dual tape, 5 disc CD changer,
oh,
crazy
damn. Nice.
amplifier, and we went to town, bro. And it was like
Nice, nice.
it was like great. It just added to what was going on with the West Coast at that time. It was like
Yeah,
nothing copied. It was elevated. It's like how we
yeah.
said once before.
Mm,
Warren G straight up commercialized this, dude.
yeah,
This is
he
gonna hit.
definitely revolutionized it, commercialized it, elevated it.
Yeah.
He definitely did a lot for the West with this one. So I mean, yeah,
Yeah, we
definitely,
were fans at that point. Like
yeah,
G Dub was, yeah, it was like just added to the tab, dude, of all these West Coast legends that are just dominating,
yeah,
like the music charts right now, dude. Like Wu Tang's already out at this point,
yeah. Wu Tang was out.
and but
Nas
they're
was,
not making.
yeah, Nas had just come out. Biggie, I think, was coming out in the next few months. So like,
And I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, bro. Like middle school,
mhm.
'94. I didn't know who Nas and Wu Tang were at that time.
Yeah, they weren't
Like,
being played on the West like that unless you don't even know who they
nah,
were
bro.
unless you were watching MTV or BET or something. But like, they weren't being
Warren
played on
G
West
went
Coast radio.
Warren G went multi-platinum at times where like legendary artists that we know to this day are coming out, dude. Like
Yeah,
he was the man, bro. Like, and he did it on he did like his production style was just different from Dre's, but
mm,
it was relatively connected.
yeah,
Oh man, I can't
yeah.
stop. What do the kids call glazing? I can't stop glazing this album, man. Sorry.
SoundCloud can't stop glazing. Yeah, that's good.
That's what the kids say, bro. Stop, bro's glazing.
All right. So moving on, we will go into. Let's get into the artwork really fast. 21st and Lewis and Long Beach. The picture there. I never driven through that neighborhood or corner or whatever, but and then I guess on the left side you got like him walking and like him squatting down like in front of like some graffiti wall. Pretty unique album cover. A little bit of just him and just
That might be one of the twins.
yeah, I think the guy squatting is one of the twins, but the guy
Yeah,
walking is definitely him.
it's
So
definitely Warren G.
yeah.
It's like that. Back when you develop photos,
Mm,
um, this is like such a like a photography piece of artwork with
yeah. Yeah.
the negative part of the album, like at the top.
Yeah, I like how they did that, like the whole like dark part of it, and then you see like the street pole, the street light pole
Yeah,
first in
film
Lewis, and
negative.
then the film negative, and then like one of the palm trees in the background there. Pretty.
And then with like when the you get like a photo, I mean it's a technique now that's done on purpose,
Mm,
but it was a edit, a
yeah.
photo developing edit that went wrong where one
Mm,
photo bled into the next one.
okay.
That's why you see like that bleeding
Mm,
coming in, like a, I forgot what the name of it is called, like gosh, I can't remember my photography vocab,
mm,
but I thought it was dope, bro. Like he really put it on for 21st Street and Lewis, even though Snoop shouted it out on like Murder
yeah.
Was the Case soundtrack,
Yeah.
a 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
Uh,
21.
I mean, he really made it known, like
Yeah.
21 Street,
Mm,
where they come from, because even Trey D even shouted it out too. So
yeah.
um, he really made it known that they were 21 Street
Mm.
was like the joint right there in Long Beach. But I thought the album cover was really artsy,
Yeah,
like
it
as
was pretty
far as
artsy. Yeah, different. I mean, definitely.
photography.
Yeah, definitely caught my attention when I would see it in a record store, and then finally got it. It's like, okay, all right, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's definitely one of the better album covers out there, at least in my opinion.
Yeah,
Mm,
no, it's the neighborhood of the Long Beach neighborhood where he
yeah,
was at, like the
mm,
palm trees. It's iconic, bro.
yeah.
It's
The palm trees, you get that California vibe for sure with the palm trees. So,
Oh, I love it, bro. Coming down the street where I live, man, I
yeah,
love seeing all those palm trees up there. It's so West Coast,
yeah, definitely,
so West Coast. But yeah, it's a great album cover, dude.
yeah.
He tried to redo it on the Return of the Regulator, but
It didn't work out
it
as
just didn't have
well.
the impact as it did as this one, man.
Yeah,
Like trying to go back to such
yeah,
a banger, bro.
yeah. He tried with Return of the Regulator though.
Yeah,
Um,
that Dre joint that was produced on there for him, looking at me or looking at you,
oh yeah.
that's a banger.
All right. Speaking of banger and beats, it's G Funk. It's West Coast, so a lot of them are going to be great. So this is probably going to be a tough one. What do you think is the best beat?
Oh man, you got to go first, bro.
Um, it's tough, but I mean, probably the first song I heard from Warren G. This DJ, so I got to go with that one. Now, balls in
Facts.
your court. Balls.
Facts. Oh my goodness, bro. Like I try not to go for like the obvious, like obviously regulate that
Yeah, regulates a
that
good. It's a good beat. I don't think it's the best beat, but it's great. Great song, fabulous song. Definitely.
the way
But
he split,
there's a lot of good beats on here. So I mean, you can't
the
go
way he flipped
wrong.
McDonald's song, dude. It was just let me see. Dude, I love like the juicy bass line that he used on Do You See?
Do you
Where
see? Oh
Biggie
yeah,
yeah, Biggie ended up using it on his juicy song, but
yeah, yeah.
gosh
From Juicy
dang.
Fruit. Yeah, that Do You See? That's a great song. That's a
Oh my gosh, bro. Like uh this is sucks, bro. I'm gonna go with like 90% of the album. I like the beats.
okay.
Some of my
That's fair.
favorite.
That's fair. If you ever think of something, just get back to me or just let the people know in the comments. But
I'll even go 95% as like all my favorite beats, man. Like running with no brakes, like recognize that one. They're
yeah,
just
yeah,
bad, bro.
recognize is a
Sorry.
good one. All right,
Okay. All right.
so
Being realistically here, I'm probably gonna give it to So Many Ways.
so many ways. Okay,
I said it right
that's a
there.
good one. Okay, so many
Even
ways.
The Bad Boys movie remix was good too.
Yeah,
But I
that
like,
was a good one. That was a pretty good
yeah.
one. All right. So now that we got the beats out of the way, let's get into the singles. So what we'll do, let's start with "Do You See."
Yes.
I like the juicy beat, or the juicy fruit beat. It was very iconic, and then I just like the story that he tells in the song for the most part. Also, he talks about just growing up. Snoop Dogg and Warren G. And just just him trying to go through the from the drug game to the rap game, and pretty much like it reminds me of like some of the interviews he tells about how Snoop would get frustrated and throw away his rhymes or whatever, him digging them out of the trash. So it's just like yo, let's just keep going, keep pushing, and eventually they did. So I think it was more of a song, just like we made it.
It
that's the
it tells
vibes
his
I get from
story,
it.
bro.
Yeah, yeah,
That whole song
yeah.
tells his story.
And then I don't know if you saw the music video for it or seen it lately. I like how Dr.
Yeah.
Dre
Dr.
was.
Dre makes that cameo, dude.
Yeah, it was nice. That was nice of him to do, and
From what I understood, Suge was kind of like a punk, dude,
yeah,
when it
he,
came to allowing the death row artists to
yeah,
collaborate with him, which is what I'm sure he wanted.
yeah.
But
Suge,
like,
Suge, I feel Suge was just mad that they missed on Warren G. He could have had him. He missed on him. He blew
yeah,
up. Yep. Yeah.
like
That's your loss, bro. That's your loss.
they treated Snoop like a hoe, dude. Like
Yeah.
he couldn't associate or be on his album. I
Yeah.
mean, other than the samples that they probably paid a gang of money to clear,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
scratching of Snoop Dogg's voices.
Yeah. Because
But like
Snoop and Warren G weren't on a song.
they were tight, bro. But
I
he
mean,
couldn't even
yeah.
appear in his videos as a cameo.
Nah.
Like they treated him like
Yeah.
bad. But
Nate
so it was
Dogg, they
good
barely
to see
Nate
Dr.
Dogg.
Dre,
Yeah, Nate Dogg, they barely got because of the Above the Rim soundtrack, but
and
just
that was through Death Row, so that
yeah.
was allowed.
So that
That
was
was like,
allowed.
but like he's not to be found. And you know what? As we talk more about this album,
Mm.
it's probably better because to me this album is like a mini Chronic.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's
fair.
Warren G's album, but he's also showcasing all the acts
Mm.
that are about to come in under his label.
Yeah,
Because we hear the Twins on this heavily. We hear the Dove Shack on here, not as heavy as the Twins, but
yeah,
they're on there. They
hmm
got 'cause they got their own songs.
yeah, they do.
Joss Skills of the Five Footers, she's on here. So
Mm.
like he's got like it's his album, but he's showcasing his artists.
Yeah.
And I forgot who I think it was 50 Cent recently on the podcast. He said, and it's funny how we did D12 a few weeks back.
Mm.
He asked the question, "Do you know any of the D12 members' names?" And they're like, "Nah." And he's like, "I'm gonna tell you why, because they came in after the second round of Eminem,
Yeah.
and Eminem is so big, you kind of don't care about them anymore."
Mm.
He's like, "Me, I had to demand that G Unit comes out after my first because they wanted the second 50 album,
Yeah.
and off the coattail of my success,
Yeah.
thanks all of them,
I think
they'll,
they
they'll
would
go
be
platinum."
more. I think they would be more household names had Devil's Night come out before the Marshall Mathers
Marshall Mathers
LP.
LP.
But yeah. Who
Or
knows?
it
Yeah.
even would have been featured on it, like
Yeah.
on the Slim Shady LP.
Hmm.
Like they put Royce
Yeah.
over them,
Hmm.
and who knows, maybe they weren't ready for it. But Warren G put these guys right away, and it worked. 50
Hmm.
is right because the Twins came out a year later,
Yeah.
Conversation multi platinum, or at least platinum, right?
I think so.
I'm sure.
I'd have to double check, but yeah.
Yeah, the Dove Shack, they went platinum. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then
Mm.
he comes out again. The only one that was a problem was with the Five Footers and
Yeah.
Josh Skills.
Mm.
That was kind of a gray area, but
Yeah. That was.
yeah, but yeah, this it was just to bring it back to what I was saying, like, yeah, do you see it was great to see Dr. Dre in that video.
Yeah.
It
It
was, man.
was. Yeah. Yeah. That definitely. I'm sure it made him happy, and it was very good. Um.
Yeah.
All right. So, but yeah, we'll go on to second single. We'll talk about this DJ. Spoiler: it's my favorite song on the whole album, but
Spoiler.
best beat, and then just it's just a very smooth track. It was one of the first tracks I heard from Warren G. Just talking about himself and just everything about it. Music video I thought was laid back. With him riding around in the car with with some girls, and just how it went like from snippets of what would have been his childhood and all that type of stuff. So, and yeah, just I thought very, very good song, very great track. I still in my rotation to this day, when I listen to music. So it's one of those songs, in my opinion, that you just can't go wrong with it. And of course, it would be one of my favorite Warren G tracks because I got the single right here. This DJ.
That's tight. That's tight, man.
So I mean, so it's definitely
The video edit of that,
mhm,
the editing of that video was really cool.
yeah, ahead of its
Excuse my
time, ahead of its time for 1994, if you ask me.
yeah, I like how like his head would turn and get big, and
Yeah,
then the new scene would come in right after,
yeah.
where the van takes off.
Where
Or
van
they
takes
shut the
off,
van,
or and then
door shuts.
opening up the locker at the school or whatever, and then yeah, just
Yeah,
it was
shooting dice.
shooting that. Yeah, just yeah, yeah. The video editing in that music video was really really good. So I gotta give it to him there. Any thoughts on this DJ
Oh, dude, it
aside
was
from that?
just when you heard that do do do
Yeah,
do 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 do
yeah,
do,
just
like it was like, man, that was the sound, bro.
that was the
It
sound
just
that defined Warren G, in my opinion.
that was a great produced track, man.
Yeah.
And just like the way it comes in, how he rides the beat. And
Mm,
again, I'm gonna go back to like I even mentioned on the Slick Rick podcast,
mm,
the melodic
yeah.
hooks and tones that he just sung and rap sang over the beats, like with his smooth voice. He had the voice.
Mm.
I will say this though, not the greatest lyricist.
No, not
Um,
absolutely not.
especially when you get to what is it? What's next with Mr. Malik and
Yeah, that song, that
running
it was okay. I
running
mean,
with no brakes. Like he kind of just spits nursery rhymes at some point.
mm,
Like he's just like, my guy, what are you saying? But he was a great song composer,
yeah,
extremely
definitely,
great song composer.
definitely better, definitely a way better producer than lyricist. I will say that.
I think that's what kind of hurt him towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't like a lyricist that could keep up.
Mm.
Um, but he was. I mean, even in the Midnight Hour, he's got some great joints on that one too.
Yeah, Midnight
So
Hour, really good. In the G files, I've heard that, and that needs to come to streaming services of G files. That's some underrated. That's some good stuff there. But
Warren G got down on uh, what's that song that he did with the Game Don't Wait.
oh, game
The
don't.
re-
Oh yeah,
the
that.
remix. I have that single on blue vinyl.
Oh, nice, nice.
I was like, damn, Warren. Okay.
And then and then the last single we'll talk about, and we talked about this some episodes back on episode number 51, the Above the Rim soundtrack. That's another one I'll put in the description. Regulate. I've I thought it was the best song on the Above the Rim soundtrack, so I'm not gonna say too much on Regulate, so I'm gonna let you take it away here for the song Regulate.
Oh, it's a great story.
Hmm.
He sets up a pretty good backdrop, and he just gives you a play-by-play of like
Yeah.
a imagery of like a tale. It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Like he's setting it up, and the back and forth between
Him and
the the perspectives
yeah,
of him and Nate Dogg, and you
one of the
coming
best
in.
duets in hip hop history, and the sample
Yeah,
is one of the best too, with that Michael McDonald. I keep forgetting sample, definitely.
he says he gets props from Michael McDonald, dude.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is like that is when his daughter was blasting it. Michael McDonald's daughter, like
Yeah.
he said that like did a lot for him, that he loved it so much.
Yeah.
So he got his blessings, like for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. That's a great nod to have.
Kiss FM, when I was a younger
Mhm.
lad,
Mhm.
was the only one that played the Regulate song,
Yeah.
but they threw in Michael McDonald's chorus
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
in the
You can
breakbeat.
yeah, you can find that on streaming services.
Oh, you
It's
can?
yeah, it's on there. I think it's the Regulate Jammin' Mix. I can show you what it is, at least on Spotify. I know you use Apple Music, right? So, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that because
Yeah, you can find it. It's out
Pa-
there.
Power 106 and 92.3 The Beat did not play that version. It was only, and me and my buddies were like, I didn't know who Michael McDonald was at that time, bro. I'm like 13, like,
Um,
and we're like, who the heck is this guy on there? I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore. We're like all wondering who is this guy.
yeah, I'm about to drop another radio station for you. 94.7 The Wave. They used to play like, smooth jazz and like, mellow
Yes.
hits. So that's what my mom would used to listen to. So I heard that beat and I thought it was
Oh,
Warren G. Like I said, a young me, I didn't know any better. It's just like, oh, then you hear this. It's just like, oh, it was, late years later, you figure out, oh, it's sampled. So
947, the
the
wave.
wave. Yeah, yeah.
I haven't heard radio in a minute. What do they play on the wave now?
I think it's more R&B. They don't really play a whole lot of jazz anymore, at least from my understanding.
Was it like 90s R&B?
Like, yeah, more like 90 old school R&B for the most part, yeah.
With the streaming services,
Yeah,
bro.
with
Like
streaming
I don't listen.
services,
I
I
don't listen to radio as much anymore. I need to go back to it, bro. That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, definitely. All
But
right.
yeah, regulate was that was just like a constant rotation when we were kids, man. Like
Yeah.
even though it was already probably played out from above the rim,
Mhm.
when this album came, it just it pumped more life into it.
Yeah.
It just kept going. It just kept going, dude. So that
Yeah.
song
It was definitely
it's iconic.
it was definitely smart of him to have it as a single on both the Above the Rim soundtrack and this one. He only got more attention, doing that.
There's a meme out there. It's like, Dad, can you tell us a bedtime story? Of course, son. It was a clear black night,
A clear
a clear white moon. Warren G was in the streets trying to
trying to
consume.
consume.
It's like, wow. I think even Warren G reposted that one on his Instagram at some point a long time ago.
That's a good one.
Big time, man. I'm glad this album is like celebratory for me because
Mhm.
as I grew older, I started listening to like a lot of old stuff that the Dog Pound did or Snoop Dogg or anything like that. And
Yeah.
there's Let's Play House
Mhm.
by the Dog Pound. The original version had Warren G.
Yeah, yeah, I heard he got cut from it.
And it's like, man, he couldn't really get his time. He rapped a lot more with them on tracks, but he would get cut out to
Mhm.
condense or whatever, or switch it up
Yeah.
or to promote somebody else. So
Yeah.
we're grateful to hear him on Ain't No Fun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that was a
And
good track to have him on.
he was mentioned in the Chronic, but he doesn't have a voice in it, right? He's not
Yeah, yeah, he was mainly just in the music videos, the Dre Day video and,
nothing but a G thing.
nothing but and he was also in the Let Me Ride video, or I guess the $20 sack pyramid or what that game show.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was on that.
he's a skit. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he was pretty much on the skits, but,
yeah. So he was. Yeah, he was. He played the person that Snoop Dogg acted on the $20 sack
yeah,
pyramid.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but
he he was the guy in the video, but yeah, still Snoop and, or whoever in,
it was Snoop and DOC.
yeah, in the yeah,
Yeah, he didn't have a voice in that one, but he was mentioned
yeah,
because Dre is my homie and my fingers on the trigger, and the trigger is my man, my DJ Warren G. Like
mhm,
he Snoop shouts him out often in the
yeah,
Chronic. But so it was just great to see him like get the shine, like well deserved, man. Like
yeah.
they could have put him to the forefront long time ago,
They
but
could have, but
they went with others.
yeah,
They probably didn't see the promise in him. And I, this is a great album. Sorry,
yeah. Death Row's lost. That's all I'm gonna say. Death
that's
Row's
it.
lost.
That's right.
All right. So we get to our favorite part of the episode, or your hardest part of the episode, our top three tracks.
Oh
I guess
man.
I'll make it easy. I'll go first since I know you got to think about it, knowing you. Regulate, obviously, probably one of the best ones on there. I mean, it has to be in anyone's top three. This DJ, my favorite. The last one though was very, 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 very tough. But I don't. It's I could go either this song or that song, but uh, it's tough. But I got to go so many ways for the third one. Yeah,
okay.
so many ways. It's tough. Do you see? It was very close. And then recognize and this is the shack. Those are also very good songs. But at the end of the
Oh
day,
man,
I
they are.
know. But the thing is, even though he produced them, I gotta. I have to give a little points to, did he rap on them, or he rapped on "Recognize," but "This Is a Shack," I know he didn't really rap on it. I don't even think it was on that song at all, but
He
so
was
yeah.
he did the high pitch voice,
That's
like
right, yeah, yeah, at the beginning, but
the
yeah,
little
that
character that he
yeah,
does,
the G
and
Child, the G
the G and that's why I said, like, this was like an album to showcase
mm,
the artists that he wanted to bring up. Like, this
yeah.
was their come on scene. Because if he would have been
Mm.
in death row, like, as an artist, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, these guys ain't coming with them, the Twins, the Dove Shack, no.
they're eventually, like,
Maybe
but
eventually, but
him to be able to get the freedom to be able to, like, do these kind of tracks on his own, it
mm,
was him going to another label, and if it had to be Def Jam, it had to be Def Jam, because it wasn't going to be Ruthless Records,
no, it
uh,
wasn't, no.
not at that time. So um, it was a great move so that we could get introduced to these other
Yeah,
acts.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, definitely agreed. Alright, so yeah, those are the 3 I'm going with. Regulate, This DJ, So Many Ways. What are you going with?
Okay, aside from the obvious This DJ and Regulate, right?
Yeah,
I
those are your
mean,
2 top, okay, so we're the same forefront there.
aside from those, because how can you not?
Yeah, it's just, yeah, if you listen to this album, Regulate should be in everyone's top 3 if you listen to this album. I can see
Like,
people make an argument for this DJ, but
it's
yeah,
iconic, bro.
yeah, that's Alright, so
I'll,
what's the last track you're going with?
no, I'm gonna put those together.
Okay.
Okay, those are together. The next one is gonna have to be So Many Ways.
So Many Ways. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're the same. Okay, so
So I can only do it to you like this. So
so
many.
many ways.
And he tried to use the Jamaican girl, like, kind of
Yeah.
bit that the Chronic used on "Let Me Ride."
Mm,
It's like a homage to that. Okay. Um, when I'm going through all this, dude, I'm like, just keep it real, man. What's that song where you just pretty much know all the dang lyrics? And it's
oh.
it's it's gonna be a two-way tie for me, where it's Recognize
Recognize. That's a
with the
good song.
Twins.
That's a good song.
That's a hard song,
Yeah,
bro.
that's a
Like, that's a hard song. That beat is like kind of darkish a little bit,
yeah.
dude, and just hardcore.
Mm.
And I'm gonna go with the Running with Breaks, because it's just it has all of them on there, like a
Mm.
little Dove Shack, a little Josh Skills,
Yeah.
and a little bit of Twins, and then Warren G coming in.
Yeah. Well,
Well, are you high yet? Can you regulate a talk? Like, it's just yeah.
okay.
And I know that joint, that Joker. Like,
Mhm.
you- don't put me on karaoke night, because I'm gonna tear it up. You're gonna think I wrote the song.
So running with no brakes. Okay, okay. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, my honorable mentions were recognizing this is a shack. So all right.
Oh man, this
So
is just hard, man. What's
yeah,
next? And
yeah,
you don't stop, man. It's
yeah.
just
It's a great album. We have these discussions, makes you think outside the box. All right. So album cuts and expansions. There was a special bonus tracks, a bonus CD that came out with a special version of the CD, or that came out in 2007, which had, quite a bit of remixes, and I think an instrumental to "What's Next," I think. I could be wrong. And then there was another version re-release of bonus tracks in 2014. So yeah, there are quite a bit of, special editions. Those were the 2 that I could find. There are probably some more out there. So at least on the Spotify side of things, I know both those versions if you wanna hear them. The Regulate remix, I do gotta shout out. That's actually the original Regulate remix. That's actually a really good song. I like how they remixed that song.
what's that one? Because, like, looking at this one, and then like kind of hearing them,
Mm.
um, they're like house versions.
I know I know some of them are like house versions or like dance, but I know like the original Regulate remix is "Do do 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 do," and then
Do
it had
do
like a
do
yeah,
do
yeah,
do. Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes. I
yeah,
heard that one.
yeah. That's probably my favorite remix of, at least
That
from
is a
Regulate.
tight one.
That's a pretty good one. That's it's at least on the Spotify side of things if you want to
You have
take a
no
listen to
idea
that.
how excited I was to get that Death Row's Greatest Hits
Hmm.
um the volume one. And by the way, I got like a 4 LP of it on clear vinyl, which they don't make anymore, and it's like super rare now.
Yeah, I've heard.
I got so excited to get that because it has all the
The remixes,
remixes
okay.
to those iconic songs like Gin and Juice, What's in My Name. They were so banging, bro. Just like the one you're mentioning about
Yeah,
Regulate. That just they unless you bought the single and you got the B side of it, like, you know
mm,
what I mean? You weren't hearing it. And
yeah,
they're all on there now. Like Trade
yeah.
Aid remix, Nothing But a G Thing remix. I hope the Regulate one is on there. I'm gonna have to check the track listing on that one.
I don't think it is, but you can check, but I don't think it is.
Oh man, I hope it is because I forgot about that one. That one's bad, bro. You're
But
right.
it's on streaming services, so
Do do do
alright.
do do.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that was a pretty good one.
you're right, bro. You're right.
So, all right, and then so those are the album cuts expansions. We actually should do a show on remixes if we ever do get a chance.
I think we talked about that one, dude. What's
Yeah,
better, the remix or the regular version?
yeah. We definitely got to set something up like that up. So, yeah, that will be coming soon, people. All right, recommendations. I know you probably have your list of recommendations as well, but this is what I listed on the outline. A June of '94. Also, it was his debut, but it also featured the debut of two other artists. Well, one artist, the Brats Functified. We did that back episode 58, and then
Hmm.
Bone Thugs and Harmony. This was their first commercial debut release on Ruthless Records. Creeping on a Come Up also came out in the month of June of 1994. So definitely check those out. What was going on in 1994 of hip hop, and then the other recommendations. Obviously, the Dove Shack. This is the Shack and the Twins Conversation. Fun fact about both those albums: they both came out on the same day of 1995, August 22nd, I believe, when I did my research. So I thought that was pretty cool.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Because it was hard for me to purchase both of them.
Yeah. So you remember?
Oh yeah, I had to end up. I went with the twins first,
Yeah,
and then
that
I
was
had
a
to
good
save up
choice
a little bit.
because I think that went out of print first. So I don't. Yeah, but
I have the jewel case. I just
yeah,
lost the CD.
yeah. I have the CD and it's framed. So
That's tight. And
and
then
then the
I had to
vinyl.
save up a little bit of money to go get the Dove Shack later.
And then yeah, I recently did pick it up on vinyl too. HCR, if you're watching, shout out to you guys. You gotta put it down for them. That guy, he puts out some good banger records. Uh,
Oh yeah, the HCR. Yeah,
yeah,
we're about to get that Gangsta Drace to BG knockout one.
yeah. Yeah, we definitely gotta do a show for them. And then
Hold on, real quick. Back it up. You have a vinyl copy of the Dove Shack?
no, I don't.
Oh, okay. Oh, you have the vinyl copy of
The
the
twins.
twins from HCR. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
twins. Yeah, no, not the Dove Shack.
I want
Um,
that so bad, bro.
yeah, and then last recommendation. I know this was a little long on recommendations. The Bad Boys music from the motion picture soundtrack. It had the alternate version of So Many Ways, and they also have some other great tracks on there too. Speaking of the Brat, she appears on a song with Biggie Smalls on there,
The B
the
side,
B
bro.
side. So I figure I had to shout that out. So
It's that Gap Band sample.
yeah, yeah,
Boom, boop, 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 boop,
yeah,
boop.
yeah,
I love that
yeah.
song.
Jermaine Dupri did a good job with the beat there.
That sounds West Coast.
Yeah,
Like
it did.
that sounds super West
Yeah,
Coast, bro.
it did. But it's a great soundtrack overall. So anyway, any
Diana
recommend?
King.
Yeah,
What was
Diane.
that?
Oh, Shy Guy.
Mercy, mercy,
Oh no,
mercy,
mercy,
something.
mercy. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that video was that was a nice video. Any recommendations you wanted to add?
Oh my goodness, bro. You're talking like middle school me, bro. I mean, Coolio, It Takes a Thief.
Folsom, maybe.
Folsom?
Yeah, Folsom. You know the G Funk group out of Long Beach. Eminem, T Dub, I believe that was his name. But you don't know who Folsom is? Oh, you gotta do.
Trying to remember, bro. Like,
Yeah,
dang it. You're gonna have to
what?
put me on game on that one, dude.
All right.
Hopefully, I'll remember it when you talk
All right,
about
so
it.
Folsom. Okay, I figured you would have said Folsom for sure. But yeah, Coolio takes
Oh,
a thief.
Folsom. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time trying to put my
Yeah,
thoughts together here.
yeah. Just do. Yeah, just Google them later.
I'm gonna feel like an idiot when I open over like, these
It's
guys.
all good. It's all good. All right.
Yeah, Coolio, It Takes a Thief. Ice Cube's Lethal
That
Injection.
was a great G Funk album. It's very underrated G Funk album, but it was a good one. And then
Yeah, that's I'm gonna go with that one. I mean, I know you guys did a show of it because I just these are like cuts from that time, bro.
Yeah.
Above the Law is Black Mafia Life.
Yeah,
Um,
that was good.
yeah, and then I'll throw it in there because Bad Boy was kind of copying the imprint of it of the Ready to Die
Yeah,
by the Notorious B.I.G., especially carrying the same kind of like
yeah,
bass line
yeah,
from
yeah.
Juicy Fruit.
Uh,
So,
mm.
dude, this was a summer smash, bro.
It was a
This was
summer.
like a June. This was a June release, right?
Yeah, June. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we were like in our last week of school and he came over, and dude. It was just like we're getting ready for the summer, dude. It was, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right. It was summer
All
smash,
right.
bro.
Okay. So anyway, let's put this episode to bed. Any final thoughts?
I'm sad that we're already gonna put it to bed, bro. I could go another hour talking
Uh,
about this
I
album,
know
man.
you probably could, but I could too.
Yeah, no, we
Great,
could.
great
We
album.
definitely could.
Yeah,
We
great
could.
album. Definitely. If you haven't listened to this, definitely check it out. You won't be disappointed.
I
Uh,
am looking forward to whenever we do take a look over your shoulder.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We gotta do that one for sure. That was a good one. And then, oh yeah, the last question. I think "Take a Look Over Your Shoulder" was a little better produced. I like the beats on there a little better than this, but I think he evolved the sound with "Take a Look Over Your Shoulder." But when we do that episode, we can get in that little debate if you agree or disagree.
Better, man. What is this podcast? Is dissect, discuss,
And debate.
debate. We need to start debating a little bit more, man. And that's a hot take. You said it is a produced better than. Okay, I'm gonna give you that one. It has an evolved sound.
Mm.
Um, it. Oh man, no. The production on this one is just way better, bro. Like
Okay.
it's just it's some. Oh man,
Oh.
I gotta disagree with you on that one, dude. I
Okay.
mean,
Agree to disagree.
I think at that one he was also trying to bring up some of the newer G Funk acts that he was like real tight and all those guys.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I know some
mean,
of them never panned out, but,
yeah, and Transformers, those are bangers, bro. But this one, man, this one was just like it was so it stood out.
mm,
It stood out, and although he evolved with "Take a Look Over Your Shoulder," '97 was like a hard year
mm,
because of DMX, Jay Z, Bad
yeah.
Boy,
The East
Master
was the
P.
East was taking it back, and then you had to look at what was going on out south as well. So
Yeah, so Master P, like, yeah, it was tough, man. So it just needed a little bit more like commercial, like
mm,
a little bit more of what's that one? The second single he had on there, with Ron Isley,
smoking me out.
"Smoking Me Out." He just needed more like that. But um, yeah, we we definitely could go more tit for tat for that one whenever we
Yeah,
do take a look over your shoulder. But this one
yeah.
is just it stands out. There's a reason why it's damn near 4 times platinum. So, so
Yes, all right. Well, anyway, we'll put that. We'll save that debate for the next Warren G based episode we do. For Roots 267, I'm Justin, Too Tall for You Fool. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you all on the next one. Later.
peace.